Why do so many people talk about building something but never actually build anything? And why do some people stay busy yet never seem to move forward in any meaningful way? Because the biggest threat to your future isn't failure, it's comfort. I'm Justin Kaiser, co-founder and CEO of Empire Franchising. And after 24 years of building businesses, structuring deals, and working with entrepreneurs across multiple industries, I can tell you this with certainty. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they stay comfortable for far too long. Comfort feels productive, but it usually isn't. Answering emails, tweaking your website, researching ideas, watching content, planning, organizing, all of that feels like progress, but it's not the kind of progress that builds anything real. Real progress requires exposure, making the call, having the conversation, asking for the deal, putting something into the market, risking rejection. That's where the movement actually happens. Napoleon Hill said it best: action is the real measure of intelligence. Not thinking 5 steps ahead, not planning, not consuming, action. And most people avoid action, not because they don't know what to do, but because action creates discomfort, and discomfort exposes you. It exposes your skill level, your confidence, your belief in yourself. So instead, people stay in safe zones. They stay in preparation mode. They stay in almost ready. And that's where years disappear. I've seen this constantly working with entrepreneurs. The ones who built something move before they feel ready. The ones who don't wait until they feel certain. And that certainty never comes for most people. When I started my first business at 18 years old, I didn't feel ready. When we scaled solar grids in 2020, there were constant unknowns. When we structure deals today, there's always risk. That doesn't mean it goes away. You just get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's the shift. Earl Nightingale said, people with goals succeed because they know where they are going. But here's what most people miss. Goals don't matter if you're not willing to move. Clarity without action is useless. And action always requires stepping into discomfort. This is where the separation happens. Builders understand something simple. Discomfort is part of the process, not a signal to stop. Observers interpret discomfort as a warning. Builders interpret it as direction. If it feels uncomfortable, you're probably moving in the right direction. If everything feels easy, you're probably staying where you're at. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. If you start viewing discomfort as progress, everything shifts. Calls become opportunities. Rejection becomes feedback. Pressure becomes growth. But if you keep avoiding discomfort and viewing discomfort as something to avoid, then you stay stuck. And that's the comfort trap. It's subtle. It doesn't feel like failure. It feels like I'm working on it, but nothing actually changes. Comfort is the slowest way to fail because it delays everything. And over time, delay turns into stagnation. Stagnation then turns into frustration, and frustration turns into regret. And it all started with choosing comfort over movement. So if you're serious about building something, you have to make a decision. The people who move the fastest aren't the smartest. They're not the most talented. They're the most willing to act while it's uncomfortable. They don't wait to feel ready. They move anyway. And that's why they build things. So here's the real question. What are you avoiding right now? What are you avoiding that you know you should be doing? The call you haven't made, the conversation that you've been putting off, the move that you've been overthinking. That's your next step. Not another plan, not more research, action. Because momentum doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. If this message resonated with you, this is exactly what I keep talking about week after week. Real principles, real execution, and the mindset that's required to actually build something meaningful. So if you're ready to stop sitting on the sidelines, start moving, subscribe to this channel, follow us, and go do the thing that you've always been avoiding, because that's where everything changes.